They were trying to compel people to say he was the greatest. Michael Jordan didn't say that about himself. Kobe Bryant didn't say that about himself. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't say that about himself. Bill Russell didn't say that about himself. Tim Duncan didn't say that about himself. Nobody said that. Nobody but him.
One man built a throne so high that even time itself bowed down to him, while the others still climbing the ladder, yelling for anyone to hear that he belongs up there too. Stephen A. Smith just dropped a truth bomb so powerful it could end the greatest basketball debate once and for all. If you've been drowning in the same old recycled arguments, tired stats, and endless comparisons, what's coming next might finally give you the clarity you've been waiting for. This isn't hate, it's revelation. It's about showing the difference between legends who earn their crown and those who campaign for it. Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, the debate that refuses to die. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. It's not even a debate anymore. It's a rescue mission, and LeBron's team has been trying for years to manufacture a legacy the game itself never fully accepted. Every record he breaks gets blasted across headlines. Every milestone comes with a hashtag. Every achievement instantly gets lined up next to Jordan's, like they're begging us to believe something that history already decided. If it were truly equal, we wouldn't need the PR push. Jordan didn't chase approval. He didn't beg for validation. He didn't need his team to flood social media every time he stepped on the court. He just played, dominated, conquered, then walked away twice, leaving the NBA in ruins both times.
Every time LeBron does something, if Jordan wanted to, he would have done it. If he's what you said he was.
Meanwhile, LeBron turned his career into one long campaign speech. And now, the cracks in that campaign are showing, because real greatness doesn't need to defend itself. It speaks through dominance, not discussion. When the game ends, the legends don't have to talk. Their legacy does. Stephen A. Smith has been saying this for years, but now he's bringing receipts. He just dropped a list of quotes so sharp, they slice straight through the noise. 12 statements that completely break down the myth of LeBron as the GOAT, exposing the cold, uncomfortable truth. Jordan is untouchable. LeBron is still reaching. And no matter how many seasons he plays or records he breaks, that gap isn't closing, ever.
Jordan was the first 40-year-old to drop 40. That's number one. LeBron James is in his 22nd season. That was the 78th time in his career he has scored over 40 seasons. How many 40-point games did Michael Jordan have? 173.
If you're ready for the real conversation, buckle up, because this isn't just another debate, it's an awakening. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because we're diving deep into the truth that separates true legends from manufactured icons. And that truth starts with one word: self-proclamation. LeBron James and his inner circle have been pushing one message for years, that he's the greatest of all time. Not hinting, not letting others say it, but declaring it himself, over and over again. And that right there says everything you need to know, because through the entire history of the game, not a single all-time great ever had to do that. Not one. Michael Jordan never called himself the GOAT. Not once. He let his 6 championships do the talking. His perfect finals record spoke volumes all by itself. And Kobe Bryant, the man who lived and breathed the game with an obsession that bordered on madness, he never crowned himself either. He let his work, his grind, his hunger speak for him. That's the difference between greatness and self-promotion. And that difference echoes louder than any stat ever could. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar held the scoring crown for nearly 40 years. 6 MVPs, 6 championships, and not once did he need to campaign for attention. Bill Russell stacked up 11 rings, letting the jewelry speak louder than any headline. Tim Duncan quietly collected 5 championships, 3 finals MVPs, and left behind an echo of greatness without ever raising his voice. These men didn't need hype. Their game spoke for them. LeBron couldn't wait for history to speak. He grabbed the mic himself. He called himself the greatest, while his inner circle cheered him on, and his media allies blasted the message everywhere. Every time someone dares to question it, his supporters act offended, like it's disrespectful to even compare. But that's not confidence. That's desperation. Real greatness doesn't need backup singers or press releases. It's undeniable, untouchable, because true legends let the work do the talking. Look at Steph Curry, the man who completely changed basketball. He turned the three-point line into his personal stage and shattered records nobody thought were reachable. Yet not once has he called himself the greatest shooter of all time. He just keeps shooting, smiling, and letting the world say it for him. Ray Allen, the man who once held that same record, never called himself the best either. That's what real greatness looks like. quiet, confident, unquestionable. But LeBron broke that unspoken rule. He looked at the throne, saw Jordan sitting there, and instead of earning his seat, he tried to claim it by declaration.
LeBron James, there's only one player we look at and we say definitively we think was better. And that was Michael Jordan. They were trying to compel people to say he was the greatest. Michael Jordan didn't say that about himself. Kobe Bryant didn't say that about himself. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't say that about himself. Bill Russell didn't say that about himself. Tim Duncan didn't say that about himself. Nobody said that. Nobody but him. Steph Curry hasn't said that about himself. Steph Curry has never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Ray Allen never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Reggie Miller never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Allen Houston never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Nobody called himself the greatest in anything but that man and his camp.
His team backed him up every step, pumping out think pieces, highlight reels, and cherry-picked stats trying to rewrite what everyone already knows deep down. Jordan is the standard. Always has been. Always will be.
Anything that Michael Jordan wanted to do, he didn't spend the first 8 years shivering. He didn't have to go to South Beach to learn how to win.
No amount of self-promotion or social media campaigns can change that truth. And if numbers don't lie, then let's talk numbers. Because when we're measuring dominance, 40-point games tell you everything about who could take over and crush opponents when it mattered most. Michael Jordan had 173 of those games in just 15 seasons. 2 of those were comeback years after retirement, and 2 more were with the Wizards, long past his prime, playing through pain purely for love of the game. That means his true peak came in about 11 seasons, and he still reached numbers LeBron can only dream of. LeBron, in his 22nd season, just hit career game number 78 with 40 or more points. 78, after 7 extra years compared to Jordan. More minutes, more possessions, more chances, and he's still not even halfway there.
All I know is your man got 7 more years in the league and still chasing Jordan.
He ain't chasing
7 more years. He don't even have more rings.
Like,
Been in the league long enough that I was in college. You know what I'm saying? And still, he ain't catch Jordan.
And still get him there.
That's not a knock on longevity. That's proof of who the real killer was when the lights were brightest. LeBron's had every advantage. Modern recovery tech, advanced sports science, load management, and a league built to extend careers. And even with all that, he still hasn't touched Jordan's level of dominance. Jordan didn't need 2 decades to prove he was that guy. He walked into the league, saw the competition, and started tearing it apart from day one. That's greatness you can't fake. Because when you're the real deal, you don't need to say you're the GOAT. The game says it for you. Jordan's 40-point nights weren't events. They were just another game. Another Tuesday where he'd casually torch defenders and walk off like it was nothing. But when LeBron hits 40, it's treated like a national holiday. Social media explodes, highlight reels flood timelines, and suddenly the GOAT hashtags start flying. When you have to hype up every big night just to keep a narrative alive, it means the numbers alone aren't loud enough to speak for you. Jordan didn't need noise. His game was the noise. And he did all this in an era where defense was straight-up combat. Hand-checking, body blows, elbows. That was normal. The league was rough, physical, unforgiving. A battlefield where toughness wasn't optional. Meanwhile, LeBron's era, touch a shooter's hand and it's a foul. The rules now favor offense, favor scoring, favor the highlight reel. Yet even with all that working in his favor, he's still trailing the ghost that came before him. Greatness shows itself from the start. It doesn't need a decade to warm up. Michael Jordan entered the NBA in 1984 and flipped the entire league on its head. No slow build, no learning curve, no veteran mentors teaching him how to win. He was the standard from day one. Chicago was struggling, forgotten, desperate for direction, and Jordan walked in and rewrote their identity overnight. By his 3rd season, he was averaging 37 points per game. By his 7th, he already had a championship. And then it was dynasty time. 6 rings in 8 years. Pure domination. Meanwhile, LeBron came in with more hype than any player in history. The chosen one, the next big thing. But for 8 long years, he couldn't figure it out in Cleveland. Sure, he made the finals in 2007, but got swept. No fight, no killer instinct, no answer when the lights were brightest. After nearly a decade of trying, LeBron did something Jordan never would. He ran. He left Cleveland, joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, and finally learned how to win. But let's be honest, that wasn't greatness. That was tutoring. Jordan didn't need to pack up and chase help. He built his throne where he stood, fought through every obstacle, and turned the Bulls into a powerhouse with his own 2 hands. LeBron needed a blueprint, a super team, and 2 other all-stars just to get over the hump. And even then, it took him 2 years in Miami to finally get that first ring. That difference matters, because greatness isn't just about how you finish, it's about how you start. Jordan was young too, but he didn't need excuses, didn't need patience, just a basketball, a hoop, and a drive that couldn't be contained. He didn't wait for his prime, he created it. Jordan became the model every star now follows, while LeBron became the product of that model. One built the foundation, the other still standing on it trying to claim the top floor. And Jordan's greatness didn't fade with age. It defied time itself. At 40 years old, with worn-down knees that had already carried him through 2 separate three-peats, Jordan became the first 40-year-old in NBA history to drop 40 points in a game. That wasn't just a record. That was a message, a straight-up middle finger to Father Time. Proof that greatness lives in your DNA, not in your diet plan or your recovery tech. LeBron fans love to praise his longevity. And yeah, it's impressive, but let's not act like he didn't have help. Cryotherapy, personal chefs, customized workouts, cutting-edge recovery science. LeBron's had every modern tool at his disposal. Jordan didn't have any of that. He played through pain, through exhaustion, through injuries, and still made history that LeBron hasn't touched. When Jordan came back for the Wizards, it wasn't to chase records or attention. He'd already won everything. 6 rings, 5 MVPs, 2 retirements. He had nothing left to prove. He came back because he loved the game. And even in a body that was breaking down, he reminded everyone exactly what greatness looked like. Effortless, timeless, undeniable. Dropping 40 at 40 wasn't about showing off. It was about proving that even time couldn't erase who he was. That's what separates the GOAT from everyone else. And Stephen A. Smith put the nail in the coffin with one brutal truth. LeBron James has been in the league 7 more years than Michael Jordan, and he's still chasing the crown. With all that extra time, all those advantages, and all that hype, LeBron still hasn't caught him. That's not hate, that's reality. And it's exactly why Jordan's throne remains untouchable. Not in dominance, not in finals perfection, not in cultural impact, LeBron still can't touch it. Longevity was supposed to be the cherry on top of a legendary career. But for LeBron, it's become the whole sundae. When your biggest argument in the GOAT debate is, he played longer, then you're not talking about the greatest, you're talking about the most durable. Greatness isn't about who lasted the longest, it's about who owned their era. Michael Jordan conquered the NBA in just 11 legendary years. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 0 finals losses, and an impact so massive it turned basketball into a global religion. Meanwhile, LeBron's had 22 years to match that. And somehow, he's still chasing ghosts. If you were truly greater, you wouldn't need twice the time to prove it. LeBron's built a resume that looks shiny on paper, but it's a resume that always needs defending, always needs explaining. Jordan's resume? It speaks for itself. Untouchable, unshakable, undeniable. LeBron's had not just more time, but more help. He's played with more All-Stars and future Hall of Famers than Jordan ever dreamed of. Miami's Big Three with Wade and Bosh. The Cleveland reunion with Kyrie and Love. The Lakers run with Anthony Davis. LeBron spent his career hopping from super team to super team, searching for the perfect setup. Jordan, he stayed in Chicago, built with what he had, turned Scottie Pippen into a Hall of Famer and made history with the same crew. No shortcuts, no safety nets. That's loyalty. That's dominance. That's GOAT behavior. Even with all of LeBron's advantages, modern science, stacked rosters, longer seasons, he still trails where it matters most. And Stephen A. Smith put it perfectly when he said, "Everybody already recognizes LeBron as one of the top 3 players in history. What more do you want? A diaper and a bib." Brutal and true. LeBron is great. No doubt about it. Top 3 all time, absolutely. But for his fans, that's never enough. They don't want respect. They want worship. They don't want acknowledgement. They want the crown. Every time LeBron reaches a milestone, his camp floods the internet demanding that everyone kneel and declare him the greatest. When he passed Kareem for the scoring record, it wasn't just celebrated, it was weaponized, turned into another marketing tool in the never-ending LeBron versus Jordan campaign. Every single achievement becomes a campaign ad, every record becomes a press release, and every highlight becomes a plea for validation. That constant need for approval doesn't scream confidence, it screams insecurity. True greatness doesn't need applause to feel real. Jordan never begged for love. The respect came automatically. His fans didn't need to throw tantrums online because the work spoke for itself. When he won his 6th championship and walked away, no one questioned his legacy. It was set in stone. LeBron's career, though, it's felt like one long PR rollout. Every accomplishment comes wrapped in a speech and followed by hashtags. The harder his team pushes, the more desperate it feels. And that's the sad part, because the truly great never needed to campaign. Magic Johnson redefined basketball with Showtime, 5 championships, endless highlights, but never called himself the best point guard ever. Larry Bird dominated an entire era and stayed humble. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the most unstoppable scorer the game had ever seen, let his skyhook do the talking. Bill Russell won 11 championships in 13 years and never shouted about it. And Kobe Bryant, 20 years chasing perfection, trying to mirror Jordan's greatness, never crowned himself either. Every all-time legend understood the code. You don't declare yourself the best, the world declares it for you. And LeBron, he broke that code wide open. He looked at the unwritten rules of basketball royalty and decided they didn't apply to him. When that wasn't enough, his camp doubled down, turning his entire legacy into one giant marketing campaign. The more they pushed the narrative, the hollower it started to sound. Because when the truly great never had to say they were great, and the one chasing them can't stop saying it, the truth becomes painfully clear. Jordan's greatness became mythology because it was written in unforgettable performances, not polished documentaries. His legacy was carved in killer instinct, in clutch moments, in finals perfection. LeBron's legacy, on the other hand, feels like it's being directed in real time, polished, packaged, narrated. Every move feels rehearsed, every quote strategic. Jordan didn't just play for history, he became it. LeBron talks about being the GOAT, while Jordan is the reason that title exists in the first place. Jordan let history tell his story, while LeBron keeps trying to write his own. And that's the problem right there. LeBron James is the only all-time legend who's ever stood in front of cameras and called himself the greatest of all time. That fact alone says it all, because if you have to say it, if you have to push it, if you have to beg people to believe it, then deep down, it probably isn't true. True greatness doesn't campaign, it commands. It doesn't need validation, hashtags, or debates. It just exists. Jordan's focus was simple: win, dominate, destroy, and that's exactly what he did. Meanwhile, LeBron's focus has always been split, half basketball, half brand. And that split shows in his legacy. Huge? Absolutely. But complete? Not even close. Impressive? For sure. But still questioned every single time. Jordan's legacy was sealed the second he hit that 6th championship-winning shot and walked away into legend status. LeBron's? Still being written, still being debated, still being defended on podcasts and social media like a PR campaign that never ends. You can't call yourself the king if you never truly conquered the throne. And let's be real, LeBron's had every advantage imaginable. More years, more technology, more training science, more resources, more star-studded rosters, and a softer league that practically rolls out the red carpet for offense. Yet even with all of that, he still hasn't matched what Jordan did in just 11 years of pure dominance. Jordan didn't need modern recovery rooms or carefully managed minutes. He thrived in chaos. He earned his crown through pressure, performance, and perfection. LeBron's tried to claim his through volume, longevity, and narrative control. That's the difference. One legacy lives forever without defense, while the other needs a legal team, a PR squad, and a film crew to keep the story alive. And let's make this clear, this isn't about hate, it's about hierarchy. And at the very top of that mountain sits Michael Jeffrey Jordan, untouchable, unquestionable, immortal. LeBron James, a legend no doubt. Top 3 all time, guaranteed. But that throne, it's not his, it never was, and no amount of self-proclamation will ever change that. So next time someone tries to tell you LeBron is the GOAT, just remember Stephen A. Smith's cold truth. He's had 7 more years, every advantage, every tool, and still couldn't catch him. That's not bias, that's reality. What do you think? Is the debate finally over? Or are we still pretending that longevity equals dominance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this video finally gave you the clarity you've been searching for, smash that like button, share it with every basketball fan you know, and subscribe so you never miss the real talk. Because the crown belongs to Michael Jordan. It always has, and it always will. See you on the next one.